right, everybody, and away we go. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with Marty, your host, Marty Johnson, a.k.a. P. Dawg Night. How are we doing, everybody? Good to see you. Happy to be here, and we're going to get into it real quick because I got a whole bunch of stuff here today, and we'll see how much we can get through before the deadline, which is usually around 10:30 my time. So I got my reparations coffee ready to go, and we're going to get it started. So today, if you happen to see the title this morning, it's called Threesomes and Soup, which is called foreshadowing. If you're familiar with the term foreshadowing. Hello, chat, by the way. Sarah, Smarty Bear, Tarai Deos, Max Del Rio, and Hate Camel. There's a few other people on the scene who are lurking in the background. Hello to all of you, too. Apparently, all this stuff is going on with the singer R. Kelly, who is now back in jail for reasons that, he has some other problems, and I don't really know the details, and I don't really care. I just, let's see the man go to trial, and he's got 4 women charging him. He's got 10 counts against him for something, and then he's having some tax problems, too, and he's having all kinds of issues. So I feel bad for the dude. But our dear friend Gayle King at CBS this morning has an interesting interview that came out, a little bit after the R. Kelly interview. And this is an interview with his girlfriend. Yes, I'm putting an S on the end of girlfriend because it's not girlfriend, it's girlfriends. He has 2 live-in girlfriends. And I just thought the interview was interesting. I've only watched the first 2 minutes of it because I want to be able to react live with you to this interview. So we're going to, you know what? So when I put threesomes in soup, I was foreshadowing this particular interview. So we're going to check it out. I have no idea what's going to happen during this interview other than I saw the first minute of it. And we're just going to watch it together, and I'll stop it as we go along and maybe throw out a couple comments, or I might just laugh at it. Who knows? But in any case, this should be entertaining at best. So let's watch this, and we'll just have a little chat over it. Do me a favor in chat, or everyone who's here so far, as we go along, please feel free to chat along in the chat, and I'll be happy to read some of those things. Oh, wait, I forgot one thing that I must do, though. I must shill and give the programming. I have a programming note. Most of you already know this, but tomorrow, you guys are in for a treat because my lovely wife, Lady Boomer, and I will be driving to beautiful Oshkosh, Wisconsin, for the NCAA Division III basketball tournament. And we will be live streaming the Morning Night Live on the way to that trip. So we'll be having another 4 to 5 hour live stream. Please join us. Please have some questions ready or have things you want to talk about ready, and we'll just see what we can talk about on this drive because entertaining at best, cringeworthy no doubt. Yes, this interview, I hope you're talking about the interview and not our planned 4 to 5 hour live stream. But Lady and Boomer will be back in the house, and as many of you already know, she is quite entertaining. We'll try not to have too many Boomer moments during that live stream, except for Lady Boomer, of course. Good morning, Irish Rose. Nice to see you. Hi, Max Del Rio. I think I already said good morning, but you came up the second time, then I realized I already said good morning to you. But that's okay. Sometimes I just say good morning to people more than once. All right, let's check out this interview with R. Kelly's girlfriends. Sexy time. Let's go. Yes, I assume that, Max Del Rio. Here we go. Yes, we are. Yes, we're going to be hanging out with Lady Boomer. All right, let's check out this interview with R. Kelly's girlfriends real quick.
Are defending him and their relationship with him in the strongest terms. 21-year-old Azriel Clary and 20...
Now, let me remind you, I believe I think R. Kelly's almost he's my age, isn't he? Let's look up how old is R. Kelly. Let's just go in the old DuckDuckGo here and find out how old is R. Kelly. R. Kelly. Robert Sylvester Kelly is an American singer, songwriter, record producer, and former professional basketball player. A native of Chicago, Kelly began performing during the late 1980s, debuted in 1992 with the group Public Announcement in 1993. Kelly went solo with the album 12 Way. But that doesn't tell me how old it is. I want to know how old R. Kelly is. Do you guys are born in 67? Oh. So, yeah, born in 67 would make him 51. R. Kelly is 51. All right, let's go back to the girlfriends. The first one is 21. And I think she's been with him a few years. Well, let's just watch the interviews. The interview. All right, here we go. Good morning, Tyler F., by the way. Hello. Nice to see you. Here we go.
23-year-old Joyce.
One's 21 and one's 23.
They love Kelly while their family.
They love. I'm sorry. I keep interrupting. I'll let Gail talk, and then I'll talk when I stop the thing. Here we go.
Old Azriel Clary and 23-year-old Joyce Lynn Savage told us they love Kelly while their families claim he has brainwashed them.
In an interview you'll see only on CBS this morning, the two women told us there is nothing inappropriate about their arrangement with the 52-year-old singer.
52. Oh, see, they told
What
us.
is your relationship, both of you, with R. Kelly?
Stop. I can answer that. Should I answer that? Do you want me to answer that, people? They're his hoes. That's mean. They probably do really love him. Yeah, he's dating two women who are younger than some of his children. All right, hang on. I'm just gotta let it go. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. You know what? It happens. It happens. How old was Ashton Kutcher when Demi Moore began dating him? He was pretty young at the time. It's okay. You know, it happens. All right, let's go. Come on.
We're with him. That's our relationship.
We're with him. Yeah, that's what it is.
And we're in a relationship with him.
Right.
You just said it.
A very strong relationship as well.
Both of you?
Yes, most definitely.
You know, how do we say this without being inappropriate? Is this a three-way relationship, or do you each have a separate relationship with him? How does this work?
Well, both
I'm
of
curious.
those.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a
We have our
three-way.
individual
Come on now.
relationships with him.
This is
and
R. Kelly
we
we're talking
all
about.
Our family all together. We have our moments where we sit and watch movies all together. We go to amusement parks all together.
I'm not talking about Azrael.
Wait a minute. He takes him to amusement parks? Okay, I'm not judging.
Going to movies and sitting watching, going to
judging.
parks. I'm talking about, is it a three-way sexual relationship?
Sexually? Well, first of
between
all,
the
I'm
three
not
of you?
here to talk about my personal life.
Whoa, wait a minute. Did she say she's not here to talk about her personal life? Did she really say that? She is here to talk about her personal life. That's why she's here. I get it, though. You don't need to ask him sexy time questions. Come on now. Come on, Gail. Don't ask him about their sex life. It's R. Kelly. We all know all about his sex life. You know what he's doing to them girls.
And I would never share with no one what I do in or outside of the bedroom.
Uh-oh, she did a double negative there. I would never share with no one. That means she's sharing this shit with everybody but Gail King. Girl, quit your lying. I'm just being silly now. Betty met them at Chuck E. Cheese. Let's hear the rest of this. I got to stop talking during this.
And as a woman, I'm sure you would not either.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't, but
Okay, then.
No, I wouldn't, but I'm old enough to be your mother, and I'm asking you questions. Now, you better stop talking back to me, girl.
Right.
Question.
No, you're right. I would not, but this is a very different circumstance.
It's
And
not
I
a
think
different
it's a fair
circumstance. There are
question.
people all over the world who have multiple girlfriends. It's no different.
Do both of you all believe you're in love with him?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Tyler
Of
F.
course.
That's bad. That's
Should your
bad.
parents be concerned?
No.
Why?
But the parents are concerned.
Well, my parents knew where I've always been for 4 years. They have known. They know that I've...
Hold up. Did she say 4 years? She's been with him since she was 17? All right. Come on. Let's watch the rest.
Been well taken care of.
They never thought you were missing, Azrael. They just were wondering if you were okay.
Well, my parents have actually came to Chicago and seen me a few times. They've,
Clearly she hasn't been taking any English classes while she has been with R. Kelly.
Talked to them. They stopped answering my calls.
You know what they say? They say that you were brainwashed. I talked to your dad last night. He says, my daughter is brainwashed, and he's very concerned. He said he was here 2 days ago, and you wouldn't even look him in the eye.
Okay, I wouldn't look him in the eye because he's a liar, and he's a manipulative liar.
I'll tell you why they're concerned, Azrael,
damn.
because they say she's...
Did she just call her dad a liar? Hold up. What? I was drinking coffee a second there. Let's listen to this again.
Die.
Okay, I wouldn't look him in the eye because...
Hold up. What? Wait, hold up. Right here.
He's brainwashed, and he's very concerned. He said he was here 2 days ago, and you wouldn't even look him in the eye.
Okay, I wouldn't look him in the eye because he's a liar, and he's a manipulative liar.
I'll tell you why they're concerned, Azrael, because they say she's 17. We found text messages that indicated that she was having sex with R. Kelly when she was 17. Is that true?
No, that is a lie. That is a lie. I was not having sex with him at 17.
Why would they want to lie about you, their daughter?
Okay, so when I first met Robert, my parents told me to lie about my age. So when I met him, he thought that I was 18. On top of that, when I was 17, my parents were actually making me, trying to get me to take photos with him, take sexual videos with him.
What? Okay, I'm trying to comment every few minutes, and that's about all I can come up with. They were okay. All right, this because there's rumors. Okay, there are some rumors that some of the girls that he supposedly have been with. I don't know what the. Now look at me. I can't even talk now. Were kind of, so to speak, sold to R. Kelly, and that was kind of his story too. This makes me want to go back and listen to his interview. But anyway, let's go on.
All kinds of stuff.
Wait. Your parents encouraged you to do sexual videos with R. Kelly?
Yes. And they said because if they ever have to blackmail him, what they're trying to do now, they can use it against him, which is exactly what they're doing.
Joycelyn, I see you nodding a lot with what she's saying. Why are you nodding in agreement with what she's saying?
Because everything that she's saying is true. Our parents are basically out here just to get money, and
your parents.
scamming.
You're saying the same as saying.
Well, both of our parents are basically out here to trying to get money and scam because they didn't agree on what happened, you know, with music or wherever it could be, and they're just very upset.
This is the first time hearing, to be honest with you, that your parents are trying to get money from R. Kelly.
Okay.
Because your father told a very different story to me
well,
last night.
Yeah, he's the manipulative. He's very manipulative, so he's the one you need to watch out for. But
you know, it's interesting. You know, now I'm not necessarily catching those verbal and physical cues that these two aren't telling the truth. And also the emotion seems natural too. I mean, it doesn't seem like they're forcing stuff. They seem genuinely angry about this whole thing. So that's interesting. You know, I mean, I don't know. People are crazy. And would I put it past someone trying to make money off their, off their daughter's, what's the word? I don't know. I wouldn't say misfortune, but predicament, situation, proximity, all that. That's interesting. All right, let's go.
my dad and my mom, they started to send threats to both me and him. They said, oh, I'll put all your naked pictures all over the world. I'm going to ruin you. I'm going to ruin him. If he doesn't send $20,000 to this bank account by Monday, oh, I'm going to put everything out there and then $10,000 after that. You're trying to solicit me like I'm some hoe. I'm not. I'm your child.
Exactly.
Yeah, you sound very angry with your parents. You sound very angry and very pained. Tell me, Azrael, why you're crying. Tell me.
I'm crying because you guys.
Oh no!
You guys believe in some facade that our parents are saying. This is all lies for money. And if you can't see that, you're ignorant and you're stupid as because you want to be, all because that's the world we live in.
Yeah, that's weird. They're kind of the crying with no tears thing. Although her eyes are welling up a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know what, man. I don't even know what to think about this.
Negativity sells. Gossip is what sells. Rumors are what sells.
Exactly.
But Jocelyn and Azrael, this is more than gossip. This is more than just rumors. These are decades of allegations against Robert Kelly.
We're not here to talk about.
Now, oh, that's the other part. Now, okay, that was an act. So when you get an emotion like that, first of all, there's no tears. She had that whole little thing there. There's no tears. So let's just say, I don't know. I'm not an expert at this, but I've watched enough of these videos about this stuff to just get an idea. And immediately her visage changed on the next question, and it's all gone. Emotions don't leave you that fast. Those emotions stick with you. Like, I was watching one video on remember when Kim Kardashian got kidnapped in France or whatever? Not kidnapped, whatever. Her apartment was invaded and she was held for a while, and then eventually the police saved her and whatever. And she's telling the story, and she got this really super emotional part. And the body language expert was saying, you know, it's real because you can tell she gets that emotion, but the emotion doesn't leave you very quickly. This girl changes on a dime after supposedly be crying. Okay, so here she is where she's crying. Now watch how quickly her demeanor changes. So boy, yeah, Sarah, you saw that too. What?
This is all lies for money. And if you can't see that, you're ignorant and you're stupid as because you want to be. All because that's the world we live in. Negativity sells.
Exactly.
Gossip is what sells. Rumors are what sells.
Exactly.
But Jocelyn and Azrael, this is more than gossip. This is more than just
here it is, rumors. Right here. Here it is.
These are decades of allegations against Robert Kelly.
We're not here to talk about decades. We're here to talk
immediately
about what I'm doing right now.
Oh man, that is one of those telltale things, man. The emotions completely shut off. The tears aren't coming out. The tears would be, if she started crying, those tears would still be coming out. She would have tears. First of all, not a single tear during that crying thing. Not a single tear comes out. But the tears would still be going, and the emotion would still be there. So you'd still be answering with that emotion. The emotion subsides slowly. It doesn't go from one thing to boom to another thing. So that's weird. I don't know what to think here.
For money.
Right.
No, it wasn't an edit. Watch. It could have been an edit, but I don't know because she asked the question. Well, let's find out. That's a good point. Maybe it was an edit. Let's see if you find an edit here.
Facade that our parents are saying. This is all lies for money. And if you can't see that, you're ignorant and you're stupid as because you want to be. All because that's the world we live in. Negativity sells.
Exactly.
Gossip is what sells. Rumors are what sells.
Exactly.
But Jocelyn and Azrael, this is more than gossip. This is more than just rumors. These are decades of allegations against Robert Kelly.
We're not here to talk about decades. We're here to talk about what our parents are doing right now.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
and
an
what
edit.
they're doing right now is
Could
all
be.
for money.
Right.
But she snapped right out
Now,
of it.
both sets of parents deny ever asking Kelly for money or receiving money from him. You know, as I watched as I was talking to them.
All right, so that's all that. There's a longer version of that one. I'm not going to go to it, but it. Why? Hey, Captain Brambles, nice to see you. So anyway, that's the that's the threesome part of the old title today. So yeah, that's really interesting. Also, by the way, guess what? There's another hate crime that's been reported in the news. Hey, Sean, how you doing? How long was the interview? This could be later in the interview if it was a long one. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I got to look that up. I didn't see the entire interview. But there's what happened to it? Yeah, there was a new hate crime, and it's got people, has people up in arms. So let's just go to that real quick. The mayor of a small town in South Carolina remains adamant that she was targeted in a hate crime, despite police determining that the yellow substance found all over the car was pollen. Darnell Bird Peterson, the mayor of Lamar, told Newsweek that she filed a police report on February 7th claiming that a yellow sticky substance had been found all over her and her husband's car. I likened it to a hate crime because, number one, there's a history in our town of Lamar, she said. A statement to a local ABC affiliate, Ms. McPherson claimed that during the 1970s, crosses were burned in the yard of our home when my mother was involved in the civil rights movement on this very same corner in this very same front yard. Ms. McPherson complained that police never took a sample of the substance on their cars before they were cleaned the next day. I want to find. Okay, I think I put. Let's see if there's another article. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. This is from the Charlotte Observer, the same one. Mayor thought. Okay. No. Stop it. Mayor. Stop it. You must turn off. I'm not. I don't have. Fuckers. I don't have ad blocker on here. Do I? I don't have ad block. I don't even have... Oh, it's because I'm looking at through... There's no red octagon. Motherfucker. Oops. I swore. Did you hear that? Sorry, people. All right, here we go. The mayor of tiny Lamar, South Carolina, called police because she thought her car had been vandalized with spray paint after it was covered in a white or yellow substance, according to the police report. First, Mayor Darnell Bird McPherson, that's an interesting name for a woman, thought it was pollen, the report said, but then her husband saw the car that night and said it looked like spray paint. In a statement to WPDE, the mayor said of the suspected vandalism, "Love conquers hate, and my husband and I refuse to be intimidated by those who perpetrated this act of vandalism, which I classify as an act of hatred." Officers who arrived February 7th wrote in the report that the substance covering her car was yellowish and a type of powder similar to pollen. In a statement, the mayor said, "The incident happened last night. Even though I drove my car today, I thought it was pollen. My husband and our neighbor noticed the cars looked like someone had spray painted on both of our vehicles, which were parked in our front yard." The police report said someone went out to the cars at about 10 p.m. and saw that what they thought was vandalism. The person went back into the house and asked, "Where did you go today?" "The car is covered in paint," the report said. The person is listed as a victim in the police report told officers she first thought it was pollen. Then, according to a police report, she told the officers she had a possible suspect in mind at that time. This is hilarious. The person listed as the victim... Oh, thought it was found... Police forwarded the vandalism complaint to the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, according to the report. The mayor on Wednesday told WPDE that state investigators were unable to make a determination of the substance because no sample was taken by the Lamar Police Department. Oh my God. What's this video? Was it pollen? Low country residents give their best guess. Let's find out what the low country residents think.
Pollen is on a flower so bees can make honey. Something that is annoying with my allergies.
The insects pollinating flowers, and it just puts off the aroma of yellow and green dust.
Well, it makes people sneeze.
Pollen is yellow stuff from the flowers on the trees that are blooming.
It's the green stuff that's on my pickup truck and makes me sneeze.
Pollen is about as aggravating as the gnats are around here.
Yes, Grillin' Pirate Pete. Love conquers hate. But no, it does not conquer Mother Nature. That is just hilarious to me. I don't know why. I don't want anyone to be frightened because of a possible hate crime. But you know what? I think it was Jerry Seinfeld who did it. Yeah, It was Jerry Seinfeld. If you just put a 1 in the chat if you understand that reference. I don't know why Oh, people are so stupid. You know, I have yeah, you got it, Max Del Rio. I have pine trees in my yard, and there's a certain time of the year, and I can never remember when it's coming, but what? Oops, no money's for you. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. So I have these pine trees in my yard. I have 3 giant pine trees. And there's a pine dust that comes off as the cones are forming, and it always happens. I go and wash my car, and forgetting that these stupid pine trees are in my yard, and we'll get a windy day, and there'll just be this yellow fucking pine tree pollen all over my cars, or dust, or whatever the hell that is that comes off the pine trees. Or I forget to cut the branches. So I have branches that are like low enough for me to hit my head on, and I'll be mowing the lawn, and I'll go under one of those branches and hit the branch. All this dust just falls down on me. Just pisses me off. But hey, I would much rather have that than the 2.5 feet of snow that are in my backyard right now. So anyway. All right. Yes, I swore. And so, oh, no ad money for you. Yeah, you know what? I don't get ad money anyway because I am not monetized. By the way, right down here, well, more over here. Wait, no, it's more over here. About right there. There's a little arrow. If you're on a computer screen, just down there, there's a little arrow that says share. Please share the stream today. Or if you're on a phone, turn it from, if it's on horizontal, turn it vertical. Pop the chat away right about there. That arrow's right there too. Hit share and share with your favorite friends. Also, because I am not, my channel's not monetized. I don't have enough subscribers, nor do I have super chats. You can do super chats right down here in the description down there somewhere, or you can look in the chat. Sarah put up my Streamlabs link right there if you'd like to see. The Morning Night Live is proudly sponsored by you, the people who listen to me every day, whether you do it through your just your daily involvement in the show, or some of you also like to donate once in a while, which is fine. I gotta drive to Wisconsin tomorrow. Well, I live in Minnesota, so Wisconsin's not that far, but Oshkosh is 5 hours away, and that's what we're going to be doing, the 5-hour live stream tomorrow with Lady Boomer in the car. So we're going to have some fun tomorrow. Okay, let's move on. We've got more to do here. We're going to go ahead and get into Twitter trends, because that's going to tell you the other half of the title of the stream today. And you'll understand as soon as I get the #1 trending item on Twitter today. It is dun 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 dun. Remind me. By the way, I gotta go buy that bell. Anyway, the #1 trend on Twitter. The #1 trend on Twitter today is bing, National Cereal Day. Are you kidding me? National Cereal Day. Now, there's a day for everything, but it's the #1 trending thing on Twitter today. Are you kidding me? And because Lady Boomer last week, I can't believe it. I asked her the famous question, is cereal soup? During our live stream last week, hello, Check Your Logic, during our live stream last Friday, and she had the nerve to say yes. And now, apparently, I was on, what was it, Monkey in the Morning? What the hell show was it on? He was doing a live stream, and the first thing he gets me, I get on his live stream, and the first thing he says to me is something about, hey, I hear your wife says cereal is soup. She must be a really smart lady. Motherfucker. Anyway, so for some of you, Sarah, I see what you did there. Right there. I see it. Right, it's on my screen. It's right there, or more there, over there. National Soup Day. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I don't know what the obsession with having a national day for everything is, because everyone wants their day so they can be trending on Twitter. But anyway, so I was looking at the cereal bowl. This is actually, if you're into, like, if you don't like, I don't care if my cereal gets soggy. Sometimes I like some cereals I like being soggy and some I don't. But this is kind of innovative. Look at this. A cereal bowl that is revolutionary. Oh, you know what? Hang on. You know what? Now, I got to tell you something. This has been pissing me off lately, too. And it has nothing to do with National Cereal Day. It has nothing to do with cereal soup or anything like that. But those, I was doing a couple of those dodo videos. There was one on the dog was injured, and then the mother dog was there whining, and then the people from India took up the dog and got it all back to health and took it back to the mother. I got 2 flippin' copyright strikes on that video. Not because of the dodo, because I was there commenting on the video as it was playing, and I'm on the screen commenting, so they didn't get that. But the music in the background of the video that they used. So there's some music in the background while they're doing all the little things. I got 2 copyright strikes on that. Now, fortunately, they were not the kind of copyright strikes where they shut you down or not let you live stream. Oh, it's the kind that it's one of those kind of strikes where the company that gives you the copyright strike will take all the money from your video. Now, I'm not monetized anyway, but what they'll do is if you're not monetized and that you get one of those content strikes, they'll put ads in your video because now they'll put ads on it and make revenue. Now, I don't get that many views anyway, especially not past the stream, but still, that shit's annoying. So anyway, about this cereal bowl. Look at this. This is kind of cool. If you don't like soggy cereal, you put the cereal on one side of the bowl, you put the milk on the other side of the bowl, then you pull the cereal into the milk, and it becomes less like soup. Sarah, you're playing with fire right now. No, actually, so, I mean, if you don't like soggy cereal, that's kind of cute, all right? What else on National Cereal? Okay, it's National Cereal Day. What's your favorite? I'm a Captain Crunch guy myself. Hey, everybody, put your favorite cereal in the chat. In fact, I'm going to participate myself. What's my favorite cereal? What's my favorite cereal? Let me think about it. I have 2, actually. So I'm going to put one of them right here. Bam! There's one. And my other one is... How do you spell that? I think that's spelled that right. There we go. I'm a big fan of Honey Bunches of Oats. And I also like Honey Nut Cheerios. But we also buy Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and my son likes that. And I just like oatmeal. Oatmeal is one of my favorite things, especially like the instant oatmeal, the maple brown sugar Quaker instant oatmeal. I kind of like that. I like grits too. Oh yeah, grits is a good one. Reese's. Oh, my lady boomer loves Reese's Puffs. I like Raisin Bran Crunch too. Sarah, you and I have a lot in common because I like those also. All right, so put your favorite cereal in the chat. As we look, let's see, raise your spoons. It's National Cereal Day. What's your favorite? Okay, and there's a bunch of cereal cartoons. That's a cute one. National Cereal Day, celebrated each year on March 7th. It's also one of my best friend's birthday. I did. Oh, here's the greatest cereal of all time. Pieces of Shit, Breakfast of Champion, featuring Shooter McGavin. If you ever watched the movie Happy Gilmore, the character Shooter McGavin tells Happy Gilmore, "I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast." Oh, that's a funny one. All right, so that's National Cereal Day is the #1 trending topic on Twitter today. It almost like though. So a lot of these are commercial ventures and a lot of verified people. Of course, I am in the top ones right now. Let's what would be more interesting on this one. Rather than having all these verified people. Oh my gosh. Apparently there's been a lot more since I since I since I clicked this. So there's a whole bunch here. Oh, here's some. Oh, here's some famous cereals. Terrell Owens breakfast cereal, collector box. Apparently the Wheaties. The NFL 75th anniversary. That's a good one. Oh, look there. As what the hell? Dick Butkus on the cover there. Kelly Crunch from Jim Kelly. Oh yeah, I actually remember that. I think for some reason I didn't grow up in the Buffalo area, but one of my roommates from college had a collector box of Kelly Crunch because he was from Buffalo, New York. And Big Dog Crunch, the dogs from the Dog Pound from the Cleveland Browns. That's pretty funny. All right, so that's National Cereal Day. Number 2 trending on Twitter today, which it wasn't when I started, but it is now, World Book Day. It's World Book Day. Here's what I'm reading, and it's fantastic. One of some of your favorite books. So this is called, I don't know that. Oh, that's Brad Thor. Brad Thor is a great author. He's had some really good books. I'm really into Clancy, and I'm also, what's the other, and of course, one of my favorite books to read, and I forget the author's name. He writes all the the lawyer ones. John Grisham. I really like John Grisham too. So if you got a favorite book, favorite author, or favorite type of book you like to read, now we can go from cereal to books. Put your favorite books in the chat. All right. It's World Book Day. We asked our players what are their favorite books when they were growing up. There's people talking about their favorite books. You never know where reading can take you. Try more. World Book Day. Whoever John Franson is. Okay, so reading. Hey, you know what? Here's the thing. Brad Metzler. I haven't read any Metzler books. I hear that they're pretty good too, though. The one thing, and if I was ever going to give advice to parents, parents of a newborn, I would say read to your kids every day until they can read to you. We did that with both of our kids, and talk about and before in fact, we would read a book every day to our daughter from pretty much the day we were born. It was just little books until she started being able to see the pictures and stuff. But we read to her every night. And same with our son and our daughter. Talk about kids, a way for kids to learn language skills early and develop their brains. It's the greatest thing you can do for a kid. And we did that probably up until, we read a book every night until probably into their, for my daughter, probably 10 years old, because my son, or we'd read chapters of books. For example, when they got older, we started reading Harry Potter, and we would just read a chapter every night before they went to bed. And at some point, like when my daughter was about 7 or 8, she would do the reading, and we would all sit down and just read together. And their language skills were fantastic. My daughter ended up being in theater too, so the whole language skills thing was very important. Plus, she became fluent in French, so even that was a big part of the language skills that kids learn when they're young, and their brains pick it up even if they don't understand it yet. When they were, because I said, like, before they could talk, we would read a book to them every night. So, and in fact, there's a point where even though they didn't read the books, like for example, Goodnight Moon was one when they were really little, and we would just turn the page and they knew the book by memory, so they would tell us the story. So that was always a lot of fun. Anyway, let's see. What are we getting in the chat here as far as some of the favorite books? Looks like, Brad Metzler. I already talked about that. Jim Butcher. I'm not familiar with Jim Butcher or Salvatore Drizzi's series, but we might have to check those out. And I'm going to make a list here. The Prophet, Khalil Gibran. I do like Grisham. Okay, Metzler is similar to Grisham. Okay, I've like I said, I've heard of Metzler. I've seen those books in the bookstores that I go to. Growing up, we never listened to the car radio. My sisters and I took turns reading out loud to our mother while she drove. Yeah, that's a great one. I mean, that's what we do. My daughter would read books in the car too that way. We always had something to read. Jason Burns. His Wizard series. Talking about answering Jason Burns. Go the fuck to sleep, Samuel L. Jackson. Don't ever try to skip pages on a kid. No, we never did that. We were, in fact, sometimes it's funny, when we were doing the Harry Potter series, we read, I think, all of them. So even into their, it was into their early teens. I mean, we were reading some of those books just because it was something we did at night. Eventually I had to read them without them because they were just reading them on their own. But, sometimes they'd be like, can we read one more chapter? Can we do one more chapter? I mean, it was a great activity to do with your kids. Anyway, so that's World Book Day. That's number 2. Let's go into the next Twitter trend today. It is called Pit Mad. Let's find out what the hell that's about, because I don't have any idea. Let's find out. Most kids love to know the true answer to every question you ask, but after 16 years of being a smartass or a freak, Verity fights to suppress her gift until it reveals a future that threatens the boy she's falling for. Pit Mad. That must be some story. Anyone have any idea what the hell this is about? Pit Mad? There must be, what the hell is Pit Mad? Anyone know what the hell this is about? Anyone? What the hell? Pit Mad. Is this about a particular story? I don't know. I have no idea. All right. Enough of that. 2 of us. Trending with 2 of us. 2 of us today. Lewis Tomlinson. Oh, this is, I think, Lewis Tomlinson's latest song dedicated to his mom, who passed away in 2016, called 2 of Us. Now, okay, I don't know who this singer is, but he apparently wrote a song in memory of his mom, and it is trending on Twitter. And I think he's an artist in Great Britain. I'm not familiar with Lewis Tomlinson, but that's kind of nice. We're not going to listen to it, though. I don't need to get a strike for Lewis Tomlinson. I don't even know who he is. But that's, okay, it's trending on Twitter. Nice. And the first day name trend today is Thursday Thoughts, not Thursday Thoughts. Oh, here's a good one. Oh, God. Thursday Thoughts. NRA is a domestic terrorist organization funded by gun makers to ensure profits at all costs, including our kids' lives, by perverting our elected with blood money to turn a blind eye to the mass murder of our citizens on the altar of gun lobby. Go fuck yourself. You know what, dude? That is incorrect. The NRA actually started out as an organization actually to ensure gun rights for black people in the South who were often treated to laws that said they couldn't have guns. And so it was an organization originally the NRA was a sort of a civil rights organization, and it kind of still is, because hey, the Constitution is the Constitution. So what? That brings me, that's a good point there, Max. The real people kill people, dumbass. Okay, here's the thing. It was interesting because I was watching what was it? CNN. Silly me. It wasn't CNN, actually. It was on YouTube. They had a video on CNN kind of about the Jussie Smollett thing. And I was listening to the words of Don Lemon, and not just Don Lemon, a lot of people use the term victims of gun violence. And I never really thought about the term gun violence before. Now, I know what they're trying to say is it's violence that's committed with a gun, but it's not actually gun violence. It's people violence. And, you know, it's not, you know, the guns don't cause the violence themselves. You know, I understand the concern for people about guns, but I'm sorry. It is, you do have a right to protect yourself. And it's not like guns are suddenly going to disappear if you make a new law about them. And unfortunately, in our society, criminals find ways to get guns, and most of the gun violence, actually, which is actually people violence, probably a majority of the violence committed against people with guns are people who have some sort of illegal gun or some sort of illegal means of acquiring a gun. So, you know, that's just kind of my thing. And I'm not a gun person. I don't own any guns. I have family members who own guns, but I've never had a great interest to own guns, but I'm not ready to restrict guns for people either. In the chat, let's see, Pirate Pete, what a surprise. The left is still trying to unarm the black man. Well, that's kind of what it was in the, you know, a long time ago. These idiots think the NRA makes money off of gun sales. Yeah, I've never understood that one. The NRA is basically a lobbying organization comprised of gun owners trying to keep the rights to have their guns, I guess. And I'm fine with people who disagree with that, but I don't agree with them. So anyway, that's on the Thursday Thoughts. I really didn't want to get into that so deep, but Gayle King had to put up with Charlie Rose for years. Must have been good practice for dealing with R. Kelly. She deserves the award from the Me Too movement for putting up with both of them. Thursday Thoughts. Okay. This pretty fox was roaming around the cemetery near my home. I watched her hunting for food and playing with a sibling. I think they're beautiful animals. Thursday morning, Thursday Thoughts. Foxes. Yeah, we had a lot of foxes around our area in Minnesota. I saw one in a cemetery recently, and I also was driving around this office building the other day, and it has kind of a field off to the side, and there was like 3 of them running around. So it was interesting. And you don't usually see them in groups either, but anyway, is there a good Thursday thought that is just something that's going to be inspirational? Here we go. When the going gets tough, I will be tougher. Hey, that's a good Thursday thought. All right, next trend today is after Thursday thoughts. Well, what the hell happened there? All right, Charlotte Russe. Who the hell is Charlotte? Oh, Charlotte Russe is closing all its remaining stores. I've never heard of Charlotte Russe. Any of you ever heard of Charlotte Russe? Nearly a month after filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy, the retailer announced that it will be closing all its stores and kicked off liquidation sales. Well, maybe that's why they're closing. I've never heard of the store. I wonder what they sold. It looks like they sold, well, based on this picture, I'm going to say they sold trinkets and weird fishnet stockings. Which is, you know, hey, nearly a month. Okay, I already heard that. Farewell, Charlotte Russe. The company announced on their website Wednesday evening that sales will start today at all remaining stores. All sales will be final. Going out of business. Sad to see. Okay, never heard of it. Are they even in the United States? Okay, some of you have heard of it. Okay, there you go. All right. Well, you've heard of them. You won't be hearing a whole lot about them anymore, unfortunately, for those of you who care. Let's see. Oh, it must be. Okay, yeah, I've never seen them out here. And I live, the closest mall to my house is the Mall of America. I would expect to have every store on the planet in that mall, and I just have never heard of Charlotte Russe. So, all right. Jungkook Hyung. Jungkook Hyung. Okay, why is that trending, and who is Jungkook Hyung? The fact that it wasn't even a TXT member that called Jungkook Hyung, but Jungkook Hyung himself, is why I'm wrecked. And I will be for the rest. What the hell what is Jungkook Hyung? Is that one of those? Is Jungkook Hyung one of those Korean pop stars? Except that's not a Korean name. Oh wait, Hyung. Isn't that a Laotian name? What? Anyone ever heard of this person? And why would it be trending? Y'all been talking about TXT calling Jungkook Young for months, but now when Jungkook Young called himself Jungkookie Young. Okay, so people have been... okay, apparently whoever this is... I have no idea. There's pictures of people crying. What has me emotionally broken about this whole Young thing is the fact that Jungkook didn't even say it's Jungkook Young. He said it's Jungkookie Young. Who the hell are these people? Motherfucker. Nguyen. Yeah, Nguyen. It is Nguyen. What did I say? No, but this isn't Nguyen. This is Young. Nguyen is N-G-Y-U-N. I had a friend who used to pronounce it Nijin. But that's, yeah, you're thinking of Nguyen. Nguyen. That's, okay, anyway. This is Young. But I have no idea who the hell Young is. So, there you go. Don't know about Young. I keep saying it too. I gotta stop. Just get me off this page. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Corey Jones. Who the hell's Corey Jones? Just in. Jury finds former South Florida police officer Newman Raha guilty in the fatal shooting of Corey Jones, whose vehicle had broken down. Raha was working for the Palm Beach Gardens police when he shot and killed Jones in 2015. So, obviously, AJ is going to be... Al Jazeera, AJ Plus is going to find that to be an issue. What I don't even know about this story. Let's figure this one out. Jury found former South Florida. Okay, come on. He's a drummer for somebody. Newman Raja was working at the Palm Beach Gardens police when he shot and killed Corey Jones, 31, October 18, 2015. He was convicted on 2 counts. Manslaughter while armed with a firearm and attempted first-degree murder. Now, okay, let's read the story because I don't know how first-degree murder is an intentional murder of somebody. Manslaughter while with a firearm. Now, I understand that. I can understand second-degree murder. Anyway, in Palm Beach County Court, he'll be sentenced April 26th. Jones was a drummer who had just played a gig when he was heading home. When his car broke down around midnight, he had called for a tow truck after making several calls to roadside assistance service, according to Benjamin Crump, an attorney for the family. Raha, who is on duty but wearing civilian clothing and driving an unmarked car, pulled up to check out what he thought was an abandoned vehicle at 3 a.m., authorities said. According to affiliate WPBF, defense attorney told jury Raja fired after Jones pointed a gun at him. What? Defense attorneys told... Okay. So he's saying that Jones pointed a gun at him, but we don't know that. And if he's guilty. What choice in this terrible tragedy does Officer Rahab have but to fire a gun? Asked Raha's attorney, Richard Lubin, in his closing argument. Lubin said Raha identified himself as a police officer, but prosecutors said Jones, who possessed his gun legally, thought he was being robbed when Raha, in plainclothes and driving an unmarked van, approached and did not identify himself as an officer. Corey Jones did not just jump out of the car and point a gun at him, Assistant State Attorney Adrian Ellis told the jury. Raha fired 6 shots, hitting Jones with 3 of them, CNN affiliate WPP-TV reported. Crump, the family lawyer, told CNN that Jones never fired his gun and tried to run away. The 4-man, 2-woman jury deliberated for about 4 hours. Raha did not testify in his own defense, was taken into custody after the verdict. So that's, and then later, okay, Jones' death is a series of controversial police shootings that have sparked protests nationwide and raised questions about race and policing. I don't know that I don't think this had anything to do with race. Well, this had nothing to do about race. This was about justice. This was about the truth. The truth caught up with him, Jones' father, Clinton Jones Sr., said after the verdict. Now, that's really weird to me. Now, I can understand, the manslaughter charge. I can understand a second-degree murder charge, second degree, but that's weird because, okay, I'm just curious. So he was an on-duty police officer, and even though he's driving, now the question is, Well, I guess I don't know if they have evidence of, I don't know if they have evidence of Corey Jones having a gun. Well, he legally possessed a gun. But they convicted him of a first-degree murder. I don't know. Maybe if any of you, even though my nickname's Lawyer Dog, it's only a nickname. I am not an attorney, even though if I play one on the internet. I don't know. Anyway, man, that's a tough one. You know, Jones thought he was being robbed. Raha thought someone pulls a gun on him. Wow. Guilty in the fatal shooting. Manslaughter while armed with a firearm and attempt to first-degree murder. Wait, attempted? Oh, because the man did die. Yeah, I don't know how you come up with first-degree murder on this. But, you know, we're in that era where, it's just that era. Let's see here. Let's see this.
My son is gone today. Why? Corey Jones, age 31, shot at 6 times. 3 of those bullets striking and killing him. Jones had just left a gig where he was the drummer and was planning to play the next morning in church.
My nephew's broken down on the side of the road.
Okay, this is it's sad, but I don't know. I have a hard time figuring out that one. So anyway, that's Corey Jones is trending today. AJ Plus, an ex-Florida cop, was just found guilty of shooting and killing 31 Corey Jones, a stranded black motorist in 2015. Newman Raja is the first officer in the state to be convicted of an on-duty shooting in 30 years. He faces up to life in prison. I don't get it. But, you know, it's just a tragic case of an error, and man, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of people who be talking about that one today. All right, next trend. I got to get off of this one. That's depressing. Nick Boyle, Ravens are planning to re-sign tight end Nick Boyle. Good for them. I'm not going to get deep into a football one. Olga Ladezhenskaya trending with apparently the Google Doodle today. I don't know. Okay, so the Google Doodle today, which I don't use Google for the most part, except I use it on my phone, but not anything that have a Google Doodle. Who is Olga Ladezhenskaya? 4 things you didn't know about the influential mathematician. Okay, so apparently she's a Russian mathematician. Olga Ladezhenskaya left behind an influential body of work which continues to impact fields such as weather forecasting to this day. For that reason, Google Doodle has commissioned a special artwork paying tribute to her life and legacy on Thursday, marking what would have been her 97th birthday. Born in Kologriv, Soviet Russia on 7 March 1922, Ladezhenskaya overcame both personal and political obstacles throughout her career, which saw her author more than 250 papers. All right, so her family ties kept her from pursuing an education. What are the 4 things? She had to overcome political and social unrest of her time. She's living in Russia. Her work's practical applications remain useful to this day. She was perceived as a rebel. All right. With a rebel yell, she got more. And she's trending on Twitter because she's the Google Doodle. She's a famous mathematician. Okay, and I couldn't name 2 famous mathematicians, and I have Olga Ladezhenskaya right in front of me here. So there you go. I can name 1. I'm sure that some of the Pythagorean. Okay, Pythagorean. That's a famous mathematician. Came up with the Pythagorean theory. Okay. All right, you could go with foreign if you can't pronounce the name. Describe it. No, it's Ladezhenskaya. I'm pronouncing it right. Oh, well, yeah, EMC equals MC squared. That's a formula, but it's not a math. I guess it's a formula. It's a math theory. Isn't that that's Albert Einstein, right? I consider him a famous scientist, not a famous mathematician, even though he's a mathematician, scientist, whatever you want to call him. Let's move on to the next thing. Draghi slashes ECB outlook as officials whatever. Mario Draghi reveals the biggest cut in European Central Bank's economic outlook. Oh, he's an economist. Stop it. Stop it, phone. Stop it. Yeah, okay. Apparently they... ECB. Wow, the European Central Bank delivered a fresh round of monetary stimulus in a bid to shore up the weakening economy. Is Europe's economy weakening? Okay, well, I didn't know that. Okay, no one cares. I mean, we care, but it's not that interesting. Wright Thompson. What's Wright Thompson? Oh, this has something to do with the... Wright Thompson is a fantastic reporter, writer. I read everything he writes. This is particularly good. Oh, steak, booze, and a sense of dull dread. Here's what really happens. Okay, something about the combine. Why? Okay. Oh, I see. Senior writer, ESPN. He's talking about the combine and the restaurants around Indianapolis. Okay. Okay, that's trending because I don't know why. I'm going to move on. All right, let's see if there's anything else. I'm going to pick one last trending thing on Twitter because, I just don't care. I'm done with Twitter today. Let's see. Oh, Great Nuts. I bet it's trending with cereal, but nobody is thinking. Please. I'm going to ask y'all a question. Okay, first. Have you ever eaten Grape Nuts? Grape Nuts, the cereal. And number two, do you like Grape Nuts cereal? I've eaten them. And I don't know. Did I like them? I don't know, but I ate them more than once. But they're weird. It's a weird cereal. It's like eating condensed gravel or something, I mean, it's just weird. It's just a weird cereal. All right, Mindy Kaling. Let's see. Nope. Clyburn. Do I want to even click on Clyburn? God, I don't. What is All right, well, what does Clyburn do today? Oof. Jim Clyburn's defense. Ilhan Omar's experience is more personal than Jews who had parents in the Holocaust. Oh, shit. If you haven't noticed, ladies and gentlemen, the Democrats right now are just having some issues with the anti-Semitism issue. Apparently, because Ilham, as Monkey likes to say, Ilham Omar, has made some just interesting statements in the past. Now, let me. So they've been trying to pass this resolution that they're trying to condemn anti-Semitism. Okay, this is the Democratic Party. And because Ilham Omar has made some statements that could be seen as anti-Semitic. Now, because the intersectionality of the Democratic Party requires you to, make sure that there is no racism, discrimination, anti-Semitism, anti-religion, blah, 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 and all the other things. They're struggling with this one because they don't want to be seen as reprimanding a Muslim black woman who married her brother to be able to get in the country. But that's another story. So the problem is they can't get this resolution passed. What they're doing is they're blaming on. Of course, the Republicans are either going to pounce, seize, or do something with this because there's some who are saying, yeah, the Republicans have their own problems with anti-Semitism, but you know what? I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But you know what? You need to be able to condemn it in your own party too. So here's I do want to read this article because this is going to be just lovely. Jim Clyburn's defense of Ilham Omar's experience is more personal than Jews who had parents in the Holocaust. As Democrats line up to defend Representative Ilhan Omar and come up with their excuses for her anti-Semitism, House Majority Whip Representative James Clyburn, Democrat, South Carolina, tried to minimize her comments by arguing that she escaped violence in Somalia. So her experience was more personal than Jews who merely had parents survive the Holocaust. Good God. Is that the most flaming hot take you could ever ask for on the planet? The Hill reports Clyburn came to Omar's defense Wednesday, lamenting that many of the media reports surrounding the recent controversy have omitted mentioning that Omar, who was born in Somalia, had to flee the country to escape violence and spent 4 years in a Kenyan refugee camp before coming to the United States by marrying her brother and getting a special visa to get it here. They never mentioned that part. The article quotes Clyburn as saying, "These are people who tell me, well, my parents are Holocaust survivors. My parents did this." It's more personal with her. I've talked to her, and I can tell you she is living through a lot of pain. This has to be one of the more bizarre efforts to protect somebody who has repeatedly peddled the worst anti-Semitic tropes despite multiple interventions by people who explain exactly why her words were offensive. The implication is that because Omar fled Somalia, she gets a free pass to target another religious minority. That's an editorial statement, clearly. Yeah, Philip Klein. So it's an editorial statement, but hey, I can't say I disagree. It also in itself is deeply offensive. Remembering the Holocaust and the oft-repeated phrase, "never again," is about making sure we're proactive about combating anti-Semitism before it manifests in ways that lead to mass slaughter. Not to mention, it isn't as if anti-Semitism is an abstract problem. Hate crimes against Jews are on the rise. Now, when we looked at that little FBI thing, we don't know that for sure. We still, even with the reporting of hate crimes, I don't think hate crimes are on the rise. The reporting of hate crimes is on the rise. But what we found is that religious hate crimes, by percentage, are overwhelmingly targeted against Jewish people. By like 58% of all religious hate crimes are towards Jewish people. It's hate crimes, so to speak. Crimes are crimes, assault's assault, incidents of hate, whatever you want to call them. Not to mention, okay, and every year since statistics have been compiled since the 1990s, more anti-religious hate crimes have been committed against Jews than any other religious group, even though they make up only 2% of the population. And in fact, the second largest group that hate crimes are perpetrated against are Catholics and Christians. And then I think Muslims are distant thirds, and then they have a bunch of other ones that are whatever. So anyway, that's a really weird defense. Then that causes Jim Clyburn to trend today. All right, that's the last Twitter trend I'm going to do. Let's get into a couple articles, and then we're going to get the hell out of here. So, by the way, just a reminder again. Here, hang on. There we go. Just a reminder, tomorrow we're going to be streaming, but not with articles. I really appreciate it if you have some questions or things you want to ask Lady Boomer or anyone else in the stream, meaning her or I. Again, we'll be doing a long stream tomorrow. And also, just a reminder that we do have, if you'd like to super chat, I don't have a super chat feature, but you can hit Streamlabs down there if you'd like. I'm going to show just the next couple weeks because we have a lot of expenses coming up. So, but hey, you know what? Not required, not necessary. This is a free show for the most part, and we love to have you here, and I'm still going to do it anyway because this is a lot of fun for me. I hope it's fun for you. I hope it's entertaining. All right. Well, Pete, Pirate Pete, gonna miss tomorrow's stream. I don't know if you can listen at work. And if you can't, that's cool. It's going to be all day, pretty much all day long. Well, not all day. It's going to be 5 hours, but because it takes 5 hours. It takes 5 hours and 11 minutes, according to the mapping software I was using. So, which means it'll probably take us 4.5 hours because I have kind of a heavy foot sometimes. Although there's a part of Wisconsin that I know better than to never speed in, and that's when you're going near the Wisconsin Dells. That is speed trap hell, and you just go the speed limit for about those 30 miles, and then, you know, before and after you can kind of do whatever you want. So there you go. Still starting at 9 Central. Yeah, well, let's see. Our game is at 4:30 Central Time, and we usually like to get there a couple hours early. So it'll be roughly, that, because we're going to try to hit Oshkosh by 2:30 so we can do some pre-gaming with the other families that are driving out for the games this weekend. So, yeah, so it'll be most of the morning, probably from roughly 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT, plus 5 hours beyond that. So that's roughly, might be a little earlier. Who knows? It'll be around that time, though. Yes, as I keep rambling about what time it's going to be. All right, let's check out a couple headlines. Oh, that's not it. Here we go. Let's see if there's any good ones here today. You know, there's a lot of talk about the immigration issue right now, and I just thought this article was interesting. And I just pulled it away, and we'll get it up here again. 12 astounding numbers that show the whole invasion at the border. Now, I don't know if invasion's a great word to use or not, and I guess I'm not really caring of the semantics of it. So after the media lied to the public throughout the border debate, and what that is referring to, I don't know. I don't really understand this whole semantic of television pundits saying that there were no caravans coming north through Mexico to come to the United States. Clearly there were, and when they arrived, they obviously reported on the things that happened at the border as these caravans arrived. Obviously they had footage of the people in Tijuana from the caravans coming to the border that were, you know, overwhelming Tijuana. So I don't understand the reluctance of the media to say that this is happening. But anyway, now suddenly we have to admit we have a crisis at the border. A Washington Post reporter conceded that the numbers were bonkers. The New York Times put in a headline, "The Customs and Border Patrol chief warning that the border is at a breaking point." Here are 12 facts about the border apprehension numbers and trends that demonstrate why the Trump administration should immediately shut down all asylum requests. Now is the president's opportunity to make a new case to the American people and go beyond simply addressing a few billion in border funding. Now, clearly this is an editorial, but I think the numbers are probably accurate. This is from an outfit called Conservative Review. 76,325, the number of total illegal aliens and inadmissible aliens apprehended at and between points of entry in the month of February. So in 1 month, 76,325. Now, it's the highest number for a single month since April 2008. And very likely one of the highest months of all time for unique, non-repeating illegal aliens, given that many of the apprehensions from the last decade were multiple crossings from the same individual within hours or days. Now that's astounding. I did not know that. And so they have a chart here. I don't know if the chart will enlarge. But yeah, that's a lot of people. In 1 month, up from 58,000 in January. So that's almost 20,000 more than January, but every month it's in these last 4 months have been 60,000 or more, except for January, dating back to, and even that's a lot, man. Okay. 916,000, the annual pace of February's border flow if this continues. But Customs and Border Patrol predicts that with the weather getting warmer over the next few months and the incentive for illegal immigration unaddressed, the numbers will grow larger. That's opinion. 40,325, a record number of family unit apprehensions in February, meaning they got an entire, a family of 2 or more, I believe. That's up 26%. 136,150, the number of family units apprehended between points of entry for the first 5 months of fiscal year 2019. This far surpasses the numbers for any previous full year. For a full, that's more than any other full year. We're not even into, we're in the not even middle of March. Since January, what? Oh, fiscal year 2019, which I think fiscal year starting in July, I think. I don't know. Anyway, that's a lot. 168,568, the number of family units apprehended between points of entry since Judge Dana Sabra ruled last July that all parents or adults brought with children must be released with the children. So, yeah, that's, I hate the child separation thing. I really do, but they're finding that some of these children are being recycled back and forth across the border. The reason there are so many kids now is because they know that that if they have a kid with them, they're much more lenient with you. I hate this debate. Yes, you don't want kids to be separate from their parents, but guess what? Oh, October 1st. Yeah, you're right, Tarai. 2,023%. The percentage increase in monthly family unit apprehensions since the low of the Trump effect, so quote unquote, in April 2017 through February 2019. Yeah, 2,023% increase. 311%. The percentage increase in family units apprehended by Border Patrol for the first 5 months of this fiscal year versus the first 5 months of last fiscal year. This fiscal year is not even halfway done. 97%, the total percentage increase in all illegal alien apprehensions for the first 5 months. 1,689%. It's more about family use just in the El Paso sector for the first 5 months. 70, the number of large groups defined as 100 or more coming in all at once to surrender to border agents and shutting down their resources. So that's the other thing. They're coming in giant groups. There were 13 such groups in fiscal year 2018, mainly in the latter part of the year when this phenomenon began. It was almost unheard of in previous years. And that's, the quote, caravans, unquote. 70 groups of 100 or more. So what happens? They all come at once and they overwhelm the border agents and whatever, the resources where they cross. 31,000, the number of projected aliens taken to American hospitals by the end of the year, if the current pace holds, as compared to 12,000 last year. But no, they're not using any of our resources. They're not taking up any, they're a net gain to our economy, is the argument. 31,000. Okay, 57,000, the number of man hours Border Patrol had to spend with aliens in our hospitals just since December 22nd. According to Brian Hastings, chief of the Border Patrol operations, 20 to 45% of Border Patrol resources are now diverted into the processing of humanitarian functions rather than patrolling the border. So they're taking people to hospitals and things like that. So anyway, man, that's the numbers. Now, again, this is a Daniel Horowitz conservative review. I'm sure that some people are going to say, oh, well, it's conservative review. I'm curious as to where the numbers from. Apparently, it's, let's see, where's the source of this? According to Brandon Judd, who is Brandon Judd, president of the National Border Patrol Council. So the numbers they're getting are from the Border Patrol community. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. All right, let's do a couple more headlines and then we're gonna be done. So what else we got here? Yeah, that's, man. And as long as I can remember, as long as I was politically aware, I mean, since the 80s, I graduated from high school in the 80s, and I was in college in the 80s, and I've had my political life basically started from the day I can vote. And this has been an issue forever, and they've always, they say, oh, we're going to come up with this solution, we're coming up with that solution, we're going to come up with all these solutions, but they vote on these solutions without actually securing the border. And I understand why, maybe I understand why some people don't want a wall or whatever. They call it a border. They got to find some way, because the people who try to immigrate here legally are the ones who suffer from this bullshit, And you're right, Growing Pirate Pete. Both parties have been kicking the can down the road for as long as I remember. I know it was an issue in the 70s. I know it was an issue in the 80s. I know it was an issue in the 90s. It was an issue in the 2000s and the 2010s to today. You have to, before you make any more laws about this, you have to find a way to A, secure the border, and B, to monitor, or at least I don't know what the word for it is, but people who are here on visas, because it's not just the border. Now, a vast majority of the illegal immigration comes from our southern border. A scant amount comes from our northern border, and a bunch comes from visa violations. Okay, all those three things got to be considered. But right now, the border is the one where you're getting the most traffic and most, for lack of a better term, illegal. The legal term is illegal aliens. So I will use that term. Okay, they're not illegal. They're not illegal people. They're people. They're people with, lives and whatever. I'm not saying they're bad people, other than the fact that they're here illegally, and we need to find a way to address it. So, anyway, I'm going to do one more article because it's already 10:30, 9:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern, or whatever it is. Let's see. Birthright citizens. Yeah, I'm more than I think that needs to be considered also, getting rid of birthright citizenship. Maybe. I'm trying to think, I don't know of another country that gives you birthright citizenship. I mean, the way we do, where if you happen to be born in the United States, there's a whole tourism industry right now that's based on getting an American child. And you know what? If that law is changed, it would not affect anyone who is already an American citizen. I don't know about that. I don't know if there's any other countries that do that. But both, and here, not many come from northern border because, as no one wants to admit, Canada has stricter immigration laws than the United States. Well, Mexico has stricter immigration laws than the United States. They both do. But apparently the Mexican government has no problem allowing people to cross Mexico to come into the United States illegally. But they send people back as much as we do if the people decide to stay in Mexico. Now, they did offer asylum to the people who were supposedly seeking asylum in the United States. It's like you come across 3 countries to seek asylum. Well, really, international law says asylum is you seek asylum in the country that you get to. But so now everyone wants to say, oh, these are asylum seekers. Well, you know what? They've had more than one opportunity to seek asylum. All right, let's see if I can do something a little lighter here, or maybe funny. Oh, this is interesting. American thinker. It's a conservative article, but I want to check it out real quick because I've been talking about this phrase, people of color. As a person of color. So let's just do this one. People of color is a Marxist phrase. Let's stop using it. How long is this article? It's not too bad. All right. Let's check this one out. Like most ideologies, social justice has a lexicon of its own, complete with both formal terms emanating from the academic world and terms emerging from colloquially from everyday use by its adherents. The phrase people or person of color is one of those terms. People of color is the social justice term used to describe non-white people. White. Non-white. Hey, Irish Rose. You have a great day. On the surface, the phrase is a pleasant-sounding and politically correct way to describe non-white people. However, when digging deeper, it is clear that the phrase is Marxist in origin and meaning. Marx wanted to abolish many social institutions, the family unit, private property, and the past, in order to create a completely classless, equitable society. Individuality was among the other features of the human condition Marx sought to eliminate. He believed that the abolition of this state of things is called by the bourgeois abolition of individuality and freedom. So long as there is individuality, there is inequality. Well, yeah, because individuals are not equal. People have different motivations, different skills, different abilities, and so on and so on and so on. Anyway, individuality means there is difference and variation among people. Well, duh. And anything that enables human beings to differentiate themselves from others is a form of inequality that necessitates elimination. Yeah, I never really studied Marx. I probably should, just to be more rounded human being. Marx understood the totality of the human condition as the history of class struggles. Marx interpreted this struggle as one between the proletariat and the bourgeois. Marx articulated this struggle as bifurcation. A bifurcation is a logical fallacy where things are broken down as either one option or the other without entertaining the possibility of both options, neither or the alternative. For example, saying people are either Trump or Hillary supporters without entertaining the possibility that someone can like both of them, like neither of them, or support an alternative candidate. Hear, hear. By applying both components of Marxism addressed here for the phrase person of color, the Marxist nature of the seemingly innocent and polite phrase becomes stark and unavoidable. A specific example illustrating this point is something Linda Sarsour, a Muslim American social justice advocate, once said. When I wasn't wearing a hijab, I was just some ordinary white girl from New York City. Wearing hijab made you know that I was Muslim. Great! Hi, Johnny Hellcat. I saw you come in there. Essentially, the thrust of her point is that she is a white person otherwise. But when she puts on her hijab, she is suddenly a person of color. Yay! Being a person of color has nothing to do with skin color. A person of color is merely a euphemism to mean someone who is not white, male, able-bodied, heterosexual. Should it be convenient, a woman is a person of color. Should it be convenient, a homosexual, a Muslim, or a transgender person is also a person of color. Yeah. I guess. But what if you're a white homosexual, or a white Muslim, or a white transgender person? But I digress. Anyone who is not a white person is a person of color. This concept sets up the bifurcation of white people versus people of color. And that's why I can't stand the term person of color. I just can't. Sorry. I just can't. I don't care. Because we are not a monolith. Anyway, yeah, this goes on and on and on. But yeah, okay, so they're trying to explain why that's okay. It's in the American Thinker. It's one of their top articles today. If you're interested. So there you go. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time because I got things I got to do every day at about 11 o'clock. So I am so grateful that you've come and joined me today. All the people who showed up and come every day and have fun in the chat and talk with us and do fun things. And guess what? Tomorrow, remember, we're going long tomorrow. We're going long with Lady Boomer. Be ready. It's going to be fun. So thank you again, everybody. We're here every day at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. GMT for those of you in other parts of the world to try to figure out when we're here. Otherwise, you can hit that share button and help other people find us. Or, you know what? The replays will be up on my YouTube channel. And you know what? I really appreciate you guys. I hope you had fun today. I hope you had an interesting time. I do, again, invite you to come tomorrow. Lady Boomer is a riot. And also remember, bring your questions. Bring things, whatever, all that stuff that you do. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. My name is P-Dawg Knight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye.